Call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Get all stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you joining tonight's meeting. Just a couple of admin things before we get started here. As you can see, we have our newly elected officials all set up. We've made some few changes. Some of the things that you can see, it's a little bit different. Some recommendations and some mentorship that I've got from our fellow mayors across Pickens County. We've spent the last month doing some cleanups within our community center and our town hall. As you can see, some of the things that we had did is went through some of the storage and we found some pictures. We've got some great historical photos that we're going to be putting up in the community center. So if any of you folks that have lived here for a long time have anything that you'd like to donate to the town or make a copy that we can hang it to show our historical lineage here within the community, I'd appreciate it. So hopefully you can see some things. One of the things that I wanted to improve on, which I think is vital for a town council, is that we're able to showcase and show you exactly the things that we're talking about. So as you can see, we've installed a screen here and we've got a projector. I made a mistake where I have a brand new laptop and they make a mini HDMI cable now, and I didn't realize that that was on my Surface laptop. So I need to buy that. Once I get that, I'll be able to showcase each one of our agendas. Anything that we have, the town will be able to see those things on that. But we set it up today to show you exactly what we do. Temporarily, we're going to have it there, but we'll have it hanging. But this is, I think the most important this thing is to be completely transparent with the town. The way we conduct business, you can see those things. If you have any questions about financials or just anything we're working on, any building permits or changes, heritage days, any public events that we're going to do, you'll be able to see it and enjoy and interact within the council meeting. Okay? All right, so we'll continue the agenda. Next item is approval of the January 2022 meeting minutes. For the council members, we take just a few minutes to look at that. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for January 2022?
I'll make a motion that we approve the January minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, it's a unanimous vote. Thank you. Next agenda on the list is the approval of January's financial reports. So this is the same report that we just went through our working session. It's pretty cut and dry. So take a few seconds to look at that one more time. Do I have a motion to approve the January 22 financial report?
I'll make a motion that we approve the January 22 financial report.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you. Okay. One of the things that we're going to start doing, changing, so bear with us as we grow and improve on what we've previously done in the past, is currently right now for the past month, we had a maintenance responsibility by Mr. Jerry Wright. Jerry, if you could just introduce yourself real quick.
Hey everybody, I'm Jerry.
And so what we're going to start, thank you. What we're going to start doing is we still have to vote for our maintenance contract, but what I would like for the town is for the maintenance to be able to give a summary of the things that had been accomplished in the previous past. So Jerry, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm going to do that. If you could just give us a scenario of the things that you concentrated on this last month.
Well, we had some drains stopped up in the park over there, and had a commode that had been vandalized a couple of years ago. It had, the patch had come off of it, and I repatched it. Really just trash, and it had a lot of limbs down. So.
Okay. Well, you also helped a lot just here in the town hall as well.
Oh yeah.
We've got some other initiatives that we're going to do. We're going to install mini blinds throughout the town hall. As you can see, all the windows are open. And Jerry helped us move stuff in our storage and help clean up, so appreciate what he did. So again, the purpose of this is that because we have a contract with our maintenance personnel, I want to give that back to the town to let them know exactly how things are being done. If there's any questions, if something that we're missing, just please let us know. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is public appearance. Okay, so this is a new initiative that we're going to have. So what a public appearance means is this is for the citizens of the town. This gives you an opportunity to stand up, ask questions, make comments. You have 2 minutes to state your case, ask any questions, make comments. I will address those comments here. When that is completed, we'll move on to old business and new business. So at this time, do I have anybody that would like to have a comment, ask a question about anything whatsoever? No? Okay. Well, in the future, as you can see on our webpage, Mary, did you have something?
No,
Okay.
I'm good, thanks.
All right. So in the future, you'll see that we post our agenda in our Talking Rock webpage, our social media, which is Facebook at this time. It's the only social media that we have. So you'll have a chance to review it. I think, when did we get it out? I think we got it out Monday. I want to improve on that, and I'd like to, our goal is to get it the week before. So our goal is to get it the Thursday prior to the meeting. So that gives you one solid week to look at it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, the mayor website, which is on the Facebook page, or the town clerk. If you have any questions about the agenda or any questions in general, you can reach out. So that'll give you 1 week to review. Okay? Anything else? Okay? All right, we'll move on. So under old business, as we discussed in our working session group, is that we finalized our signature card transfer of authority for our community bank that we have here with all our 5 different accounts, the funding that we have here within the town. The individuals that were responsible, that were voted on last week, was Buffy Holcomb, who is currently our town clerk, Stephen Lewis, who is our newly elected council member, and myself as mayor pro tem. So we're the ones on the signature card. We're the ones that can authorize checks, write checks, sign checks. So if there's any questions, you can bring that up to our attentions. But I reviewed each one of the accounts during that time. Just got level set of explaining some of those accounts and their responsibilities and things like that, and how we can use those to benefit the town in the future. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay. Next is one of the things that we had on the agenda last month was to replace the locks in the town hall, and we did that successfully. We replaced the locks on the front, majority of the office building, or the rooms in the office, and this back door right here. So I was under the quote that I was approved to spend. I've given the receipts to the town clerk. She will file those, and so it's pretty cut and dry, pretty easy. Okay. Next on old business was the security camera estimates. So we had a representative from ETC come out, thank you very much. And he came out and looked at not only the town hall, but the park itself. So we had recommended from several of you to look at installing cameras here in the town hall and then 4 cameras in the park. It took about 2 weeks, and he gave me a quote, and that quote is for $4,515. So what that $4,500 is for is we're going to have the Bing system in the front door. I think, Jerry, we're probably going to relocate that lock for the door. I don't think we're going to need that. We'll talk about that. But we're going to have the actual, someone rings that, it'll go to my phone, Stephen's phone, Buffy's phone. We'll be able to physically see and talk to them even if I'm not in the building. We'll have a camera on the back side of this building, a camera on the front side of the building on the outside. We'll have a camera, 3 cameras in the inside. One in that corner over there that shows that door and those 2 offices right there. One in the town, the front hallway up in the left-hand corner that shows the town clerk's office and the storage area office, and down the hallway in the community center, and then one in the community center itself, because we're gonna rent the community center out, and then you'll be able to have eyes on that as well. The servers will be locked in a location in the building. And then we have 4 cameras out in the park in designed areas that we thought would be the best coverage. I left it up to him, so. All right, if there's no other questions, and if it's approved, first thing Monday is I'll reach out, get on their appointment book and get it installed, and then I'll inform the council members when that'll be installed. And if you have any questions, you can come down and check it out yourself. Okay? So do I have a motion to approve the security cameras for the park and the town hall for a total of $4,515?
I'll make a motion, we approve the security cameras for the park and town hall for $4,515.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, that's a unanimous vote. Okay, awesome.
You can still vote, so
Okay, yes, sir.
you didn't lose that.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I was just waiting in case there was an issue. Okay, so yep, I'll reach out first thing to ETC Security. They currently, and I forgot to state, they currently do our internet access and phone services here in the building. So I thought it was just appropriate. They're actually going to see to improve what we currently have right now and then maintaining and stuff like that, so. Okay, thank you. All right, so that's all for old business. We can move into new business, which we've already covered the security cameras. We just did that vote, so we're good to go on that. The next is our maintenance contract. So I had 2 sealed bids for the 2 sealed bids. So these 2 sealed bids, one, an individual is named Adam Blackburn. He withdrew his bid, and he contacted me and told me he withdrew for personal reasons. I understood it. So the last remaining bid is Jerry Wright. And so Jerry has been doing our maintenance, I don't know how long. How long have you been doing it?
2 or 3 years.
Yeah. So at previous, Randy Banks was covering down. We'd had a contract with Randy to cover down, and he was subcontracting Jerry to assist. Now we have Jerry solely on this. So we've talked in great depth of the responsibility. I have created a maintenance contract, and I can post this maintenance contract if needed, but it outlines, you guys have seen the draft of this maintenance contract. It outlines all the responsibilities that we currently had, but it's a contract that is, that states the cost, which would be $2,000 a month, correct? $2,000 a month. And both parties have 30 days to either he resigns, or if the maintenance is not being performed, we have the ability to rescind that contract in a 30-day advance. Any questions on that? Council? Okay, that will be effective immediately, starting tonight. Jerry will sign this contract. He will provide services for this month and be paid for the first of the month of March. Any questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the maintenance contract for Jerry Wright for the town of Talking Rock?
I'll make a motion that we approve Jerry Wright to do all the maintenance contract for Talking Rock.
Okay, do I have a second? All in favor? Awesome, unanimous. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Appreciate it. Okay, all right, so in doing that, is if you are aware of this, and I apologize if you weren't, one of my major responsibilities as Mayor Pro Temp is that I really want to look at where we can cut savings. That's really what my agenda is, and that's really what my responsibility is. And one of the things that I was able to do was work with Jerry and come to a price that was agreeable for both him and I, and that's where we came up with the $2,000. One of the things that he had asked was, could the town provide a lawnmower for his services? And I've talked to you guys about it, and I think that's beneficial for us. In the long run, it's a cost savings for us. We can have a lawnmower that he'll be able to use, He will utilize his own gas and he will reimburse us with receipts to be reimbursed on that fuel. So he'll get the $2,000 and then he will use the town's lawnmower, and any reimbursement that he has for fuel, he'll provide me a receipt for that to the town clerk, and he'll be reimbursed for that. So that's really what our plan is. From the council, is any issues, questions, concerns about that?
Is the maintenance on the lawnmower included?
So I haven't had that set up, so I went to several places. I went to Lowe's and Home Depot. Home Depot has the John Deere lawnmowers. They're $3,800. Let's round it up to $3,900. Those are the 360s. You can get a service maintenance plan through them. I have one personally with mine over in Cartersville. There's a location over there. Services yearly is just a ballpark figure, $200, $300. That's to change the oil, check everything's good. The cables, make sure they're good to go. So, yep.
Is that something that you can use SPOS funds to purchase?
I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
If we have a line item under one of our SPOS for, I mean, it's gonna be used on the sides of the roads, I presume,
Yeah.
in the park. So
Yep.
I think under either Parks and Recreation or Roads and Bridges,
Okay.
you could purchase that out of the SPOS fund if you've got that
Awesome.
available.
Thank you, sir. So that is, if you look in the maintenance contract, Jerry's aware of it, it outlines all his, there's a lot of lawn maintenance responsibilities, especially in the summertime. We have that big, the biggest area is the parking area or the grassy area over behind the park. Areas within the park itself, off of Old Blairsville, right here in the front, areas over here, so they're outlined. So I think it's beneficial. We've never had that before, but what that does, if for some reason we lose Jerry for any reason, I can immediately come to the council and say, hey, we have the equipment. That shouldn't stop us to continue doing maintenance if I have to do a temporary solution, right? Any questions, comments about that? Okay, so we don't have to put it to a vote now because I don't think we have lawn mowing issues. So I just wanted to bring that up as a talking order. As I thought about it, I think it's more adequate that I bring you those quotes. And so I have one at Lowe's, Home Depot. I really do like John Deere, and I think John Deere has a quality name, and it's a quality lawnmower itself. There's Club Cadet, there's a couple others. I did look at the ones at Rolling Tires. They're like $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $15,000, and we are not a big town, so to stay within our budget, I think that $3,000 to $5,000 would be a good figure. But I will bring to the council 3 separate quotes, and we can vote it on it next month. But I'd like to have it before spring. I think of spring, April time frame. So, any questions, comments on that? I do look at you a lot, and I apologize. I'm pushing left all the time. Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is our custodial services. So one of the things that we wanted to improve on here was just the care and the straightening up the town hall itself. And I had met Casey Neighbors. Casey, if you could just raise your hand. And Casey volunteered initially to help out with cleaning. And I thought it was a great idea because the town hall here in the last month or so looked like it needed some help. And she graciously did that, and we talked about how she could move forward and provide services. She also helped me out about 3 weeks ago. She helped me clean out all the storage rooms. There's a lot of trash in there, and she helped me out tremendously, so I really appreciate that. So this is something that we've never had before. I created a contract, a janitorial contract, and it's pretty simple. It's maintaining this building and this building alone, 1 month, and I recommended to do it on the day of the council meetings, and she is charging us $150. And what that entails is the front hallway, the floors, the community center, the bathrooms, both male and female, the closets, the chamber itself, mop and sweeping and dusting and the baseboards, taking out all the trash. And as I was telling her the other day, she's not going to be responsible for individuals who rent the community center. That will be their responsibility because we'll have a deposit on that. But just general cleanliness of the town hall. Again, we don't have a lot of activity here, but I think it's adequate enough for once a month. And I think $150 is a fair price, and we will provide the material and supplies that she needs to accomplish that. And I plan on being in here most of the day of the council meeting, so she'll have supervision. Someone will be here. The maintenance or the custodial, she'll never be here in the building by herself at any given time. So there'll be sponsorship here to ensure that that is adequately being performed. Any questions, comments about that? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve custodial services for KC Neighbors once a month for $150 for the town hall?
I'll make a motion that we use Casey Neighbors once a month for custodial services in the town hall for $150.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you. All right, Casey, if you don't mind, at the end of this, come to sign this contract, we'll give you a copy of it. Okay. Next is on the agenda is the Talking Rock website revamp. So we did a lot of this in the working session. For you guys that are coming in just for the meeting, we had our very first work session, which I'm pretty stoked about that. We're going to have a monthly working session, which achieves so many things. It helps us get our head right, makes us able to look forward. I get to hear the input from the council members and the citizens of the town. And bottom line is, what can we do to improve anything and everything of every aspect of what we're doing in the town? So I'm pretty satisfied with our first working session. I'd like to have feedback from you guys, by the way, on that. But one of the things that we talked about in there is we're revamping our Talking Rock webpage. Mary, for those that are not aware, Mary's in charge of that for us, and she's been helping us out here since I've taken over. We have Mary Bergatini that is helping with our social media. So we want to improve that on all aspects. For the social media, we just have Facebook at this time. We have two links on Facebook, Heritage Days specifically, and the Town of Talking Rock. And then we have our Town of Talking Rock webpage, which we've all agreed, and we've worked with Mary to identify that there's several things that need to be updated on that webpage. So we discussed it in the working session. And Mary, help us out on this. What I had told the council members is what you and I discussed was that roughly we're looking at about 5 hours, and your retainer fee is $75 a month. So you're just adding $75 times 5. Under $500 to revamp that at this time. Is that correct?
Well, I seen a different proposal. I figured it may take up to 10 hours, but no more than that. But it could be from 5 to 10, and I can just track it.
Okay.
I just want to give a little bit of leeway.
Okay.
Well, that was if you wanted to really redo it or kind of restructure it, but it is kind of dated looking. So.
No, I totally agree, and I think the council's on that. So,
but it might not take that long. I just want to give you a high end.
So what I would like to bring to a vote is that we're looking at up to 10 hours at $75 an hour for Mary to improve and update our webpage with our input.
Up and above and beyond the $75.
Yeah, she has her monthly retaining fee, so.
Yeah, that's just to add the agenda, when minutes that we should be adding, anything like that, basic things up to an hour, so minor changes. But you are wanting to restructure the whole navigation, so I figure we might as well do it all.
Mary brings up a good point here. So if you start working on it hypothetically tomorrow, are we going to be charged for the retainer fee each month of the $75?
It's a totally different thing. That, again, is to add your agenda into, I can obviously take that out 1 hour if that's it. But it's really just, you're making sure I am there, you're retaining me whether you do something or not, actually. But I'm there to add stuff.
Will that be a separate contract?
We don't even have a contract, but if y'all want one.
Do I need a contract with that, Jeff?
I mean, it can just be a month-to-month agreement.
Yeah, I have a bill for the electricity. I don't have a contract. Yeah. Okay. Tony, did you have a question?
Well, no, I'm just wondering what that was. Like the only person that hears it.
That's right.
No, it's going.
There's a sump pump back here.
I'm here, so.
So again, I'd like to put it for vote is where I think it's think it's imperative that we need to update our webpage, and I feel comfortable with Mary taking care of that because I don't have that ability unless someone else does. So. Good. Any questions, comments? Okay. So do I have a motion to have Mary update our website up to 10 hours at $75 an hour?
Make a motion that we use Mary Lively for up to 10 hours at $75 an hour to revamp our website.
Okay. Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor? That's unanimous. Okay, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is the town clerk position. So, month of December, we had put out an advertisement for the resumes for the town clerk. Here's the list of them. I have physically reached out to every individual that provided a resume. After I spoke to everybody in this folder, I received one from Audrey Lewis, correct? Afterwards. And that is the only additional one that I've had. So I've reached out to each one of these and took some consideration and realized that I'm going to continue with Buffy Holcomb as my town clerk. Any questions or comments about that? Doesn't need to be a vote. So, okay, all right, thank you. And I reached out to these individuals as well. Said that I feel pretty confident with who I have as a town clerk, and for now, that's what we're going to do. Okay. Okay, for general knowledge, as we talked in the working group and we've publicized it, we do have several folks that were newly elected for our officials this last November, and by state law, they have to receive training. So the next training window is the 16th through 18th March in Tifton, Georgia, and the council members that will be attending is Steve Lewis, Mary Bergatini, and Tony Hoff. The town will pay for their tuition, which has already been taken care of by Buffy, and then we will compensate the council members per diem and their mileage and their hotel. The per diem falls under the hotel. Okay, any questions on that? All right. Okay, next on the agenda is the recycle station. That. Oh, yes. Yes, so we have, I don't know if we've been having this recycle center for a couple years now, or a year or so, but if everybody's fully aware, the recycle center is here right beside the trash dump. We have decided to no longer provide that service for the town. And there's been a variety of reasons, but one of my other initiatives as the mayor pro temp is I want to do beautification for the town. I think it's a complete eyesore, and I do believe that some individuals have took advantage of that opportunity out there. I was out there last week and took pictures of food actually in one of the bins, and so I think people are just dropping things off. So I reached out to the Pickens County Chamber of Commerce, spoke to Chris Stansel. They gave me the Pickens County Recycle Center, which is 1.5 miles from this building. It's right up here off of 515 or 575, whatever that is. Their hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There is no charge for recyclables, and in fact, they will actually pull it out of your vehicle yourself. You drive through the building, and whatever you have, they'll donate, but they'll pull it out for you. So what we've agreed upon in our working session is that we will continue with our current recyclable center till this Sunday. And starting on the 7th, this Monday the 7th, it will no longer be there. Jerry, as we discussed, you will remove those cans, put those in storage. We'll use those trash cans for any public events that we have, i.e. Heritage Days or anything else. And then we'll completely remove that area. We'll still have the trash, but we're going to remove the recycling center. So for the council, you've heard my plan before. Like I said, we'll continue, and that saves us $200 a month for that service. And so currently we have Charles that's doing that, and we already agreed that we would pay Charles, prorate Charles for the month of February for those 6 days. Any questions from the council member, comments?
When you go to, have you been to the recycling?
I have.
Do you have to sort stuff out, or you just have a garbage bag?
No.
full?
When you drive in, it's on the left-hand side. They have cans, paper. When you drive your vehicle, they'll ask you what you have, and they'll pull it out and put it in the right. You have a choice. You could get out, or they'll pull it out for you and put it
But
in.
I mean, you could have like a trash bag full of stuff, paper, all of it, and they'll sort it, or?
I did not ask that
I don't
question.
think they sort.
Yeah, you
No,
got
I don't.
So you gotta have it sorted.
Yeah, I didn't ask that. And if you're throwing trash away, then you're gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
Your trash is free
Yeah.
here, but recyclables, he did tell me they will remove it from your vehicle and put it in the appropriate
Okay,
place.
so you just have to have it sorted when you go in,
Mhm.
if they're gonna take it out.
Yes, sir. Yep. Any other questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to remove the Town of Talking Rock Recycling Center effective this Sunday?
I make a motion, we remove the recycling center as soon as possible.
Okay. Do you have a second?
I second that motion.
All in favor? Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, the next thing on the initiative that was, I apologize, I forgot to talk about it in the working group, was going back to my initial initiative on beautification. So as I've walked around the town, I've walked with Jerry, he showed me some things, Tony as well. One of the things that I would like for the town to look at, and the council members ourselves, is this shed area. And I just recently talked to Melissa about it as well. I have concerns about the shed itself. As you can see on my phone, I've took several pictures of it. I've talked to Dusty. Dusty is the individual who owns this building right here. He actually has some wood in it. We actually have a fire grill that's Larry's in the fire departments. We actually have a golf cart that's there. And then on the far end, we have Christmas decorations, and we have a lot of, I would call it junk. I think it's an eyesore. I think that whole area is an eyesore. That's just my opinion. But I think we need to look at taking the initiative to cleaning that area up. So I'm open for any suggestions on this. We don't have to vote on it now, but I definitely do. I've reached out to Dusty, and he said he's willing to remove his property from that. Larry said that they can remove. I forgot to tell you that he would be in letting us hold the grill over in that area as well. And then we talked about I can get estimates on the golf cart to see if we can, if it's worth redoing and having that for the town as well. So, any questions or comments about that? Now, we can put it to a vote to remove it, or we can table it to another time and have a subcommittee look at it and review it, but it does have power. It has been told to me that it was built there for Heritage Days, but I'll be honest with you, I don't see anybody near it, and I see it collecting stuff, and I don't want to see it collect stuff, so.
Definitely an eyesore.
Yep.
And definitely everything that's in there is
Yeah.
junk.
One of the things that's not on the agenda tonight is that I really want to look at improving that entire, I call it a block, with the schoolhouse. I really want to improve that schoolhouse. And I want to improve the environment around it. I want to improve the building itself. People donate money for that. It's a focal point in our Heritage Days and any public event that we have. And I think it really needs a lot of attention. I think if we can clean the area around it as well and incorporate that in our public events, I think that really brings that historical value and the way it looks in this area. And I just honestly, I'll just be honest with you, I just think those sheds are an eyesore. I think they had a great purpose in the beginning, but I think they're being taken advantage of now. I don't think anybody's caring about them. I think it's easy to drop something off there. I mean, there's a stove over in the last section. And as I drive through this town and I see these beautiful historical stores, I see a beautiful brewery, I see what we're trying to do here, that's an eyesore when it's just sitting right there, right? So what do you guys think? Comments?
Oh, I definitely think to help beautify the town, those things disappear.
Okay. Well, since I didn't bring it up in the work session, I recommend that I recommend that we table it now and we have further discussion on what's the possibilities. But I really ask the council to really look at it and give me your recommendations. What can we do with it? Should we remove all the contents? Should we tear the building down itself and open that up? Should we redo the sheds itself? I'll leave it up to you. But I tell you, its current state right now, I have concerns on it. Because I really want, to really just pop down here in downtown.
Is this something that we could open up to the members of to the citizens of the town for ideas? It's
Absolutely, we can
their
put,
town.
yeah, we can put it on the docket for next month's working group. Absolutely, publish it, talk about it then. Absolutely.
If we want to keep it for storage and be able to lock it up, I talked with the people at the overhead door company, and for about $1,600, we could put a rolling door and it could be locked and used for storage for the city. And then it would be available for city use for some storage purpose and kept in a clean, controlled environment.
Yeah, one of the things I failed to put on this agenda for this month is that we still have the outstanding of the rental, or of the shed that we purchased, that we have here over in Talking Rock. So, yeah, I think we should just table this because we actually bought a building for storage that we have concerns about now. And so we've got to address that as well. But absolutely, we can bring that up for discussion. Again, the bottom line is just to show beautification, improve the infrastructure of the town itself. That's what my concern is now. If we can utilize it, since we use town funds to build it, if we can utilize it to support anything that the town would like to have, the citizens or whatnot, I'm all for it. But at the state that it's in now, I think it does need to be addressed.
Oh, yeah,
Okay?
definitely.
We can go ahead and start cleaning it out. Can we vote on that?
Yes.
And
Well,
getting rid of
I don't
the-
think we need to. I don't think we need to vote on that. I've identified
Just do
with.
that.
Yeah, I've identified some of the equipment. We have Heritage, Jerry. We have those Heritage Days signs in there. I want to get those out and secure those. Those are nice signs. They look like they cost a lot of money. So that's one of the initiatives. Larry, who's our fire chief, has he said that we could move the grill, or he could take it. He just let him know. The golf cart, we will have some people look at it. If not, I can get it assessed. I can pull that out. And then Dusty, he said he had told me, and I might be wrong, but he told me all the wood is his. I don't know. So.
It is.
Okay, yeah. So then the rest of it's junk. If we have to pay to get it removed ourselves, then we can put that to a vote, do a pot of money to clean it up. But if there's damaged stuff on there, I just want to get it removed.
The golf cart it went through flood.
Yeah,
Jerry took it apart, tried to clear it out. but-
yeah. Is it a gas or electric?
It's gas.
Oh.
It is.
And
The starter's out on it, and the starter was
Okay.
like $500.
Some folks told me that it was battery operated.
No, it's gas.
Okay. Well,
Total one.
so I mean, next month we can put it to a vote on, is it worth, I can, I do my own service for my own, I have a golf cart similar to it. I use a company, I cannot remember the name of it, it's up in Murphy, North Carolina, that deal with the club cadet golf carts, the green ones. So I could see if it's worth salvaging and see what the price would be. If not, I want to get rid of it. If it can't be utilized for the town, then I want to get rid of it. If I can utilize it and it's not a big cost issue, then we can utilize it. But that's majority left. When the Christmas stuff, yeah, we've got to find a storage area for that. Okay, all right, so we'll just table that for next month, if there's no other comments. Okay, next is council members' emails. I talked in the working group. We're going to start utilizing, Mary Lively has set us up with our town emails. We have the mayor email address, and that's mayor@talkingrockga.com. We have Buffy's, the town clerk, which is talkingrockga.com, and then each one of the council members have their own email address. We need to get out of the business, and I am the first to blame on this, of using our personal emails. We cannot do that anymore. So, Mary, I need you to really help the council members to ensure that they have it. If they have any questions, as we were just talking, I'm having some issues putting it on my phone, but I've been utilizing it for the last month on my personal computer, which is another issue. We talked about it in the working group where I would like to have town laptops for the council members, the town clerk as well, to conduct official town business. We definitely need to separate that. So, okay, and that's not a vote. That was just an acknowledgement for the citizens. Next thing on the agenda is we talked about subcommittees. So we're going to start initiating subcommittees. And during our first working group that we identified that we're going to have a subcommittee for Heritage Days. That subcommittees can only have 2 individuals for the council members. As you can see, we only have 5 council members. That includes me, even though I'm the mayor pro tem. We don't have a lot of folks here, so for the Heritage Days, we agreed that Mary Bergantini and Tony Hoff would take that efforts. The second subcommittee that we created was for our building permits and our inspections. Tony Hoff has graciously volunteered for that. If everybody's fully aware from the town, we all have our own personal and professional lives. So this is not a full-time job that we do. So we have to work around and be flexible for our individual responsibilities, being a school teacher, working whatever business, having your own businesses. So everybody on the council and Buffy, they've done a fabulous job being able to support those things. At this time, I'm extremely happy and satisfied with how things are going. But I do agree that we do need to separate things in committees so we can get, proper alignment and proper support for that. Not to dig too deep in that, but we're looking for volunteers for the Heritage Days. The Heritage Days is such a foundational importance of this town, and we're going to knock it out of the park this year, and we need the help from everybody to do it. So we're excited for those efforts, and we're looking for the citizens and anybody else who would like to volunteer. Okay? Any other comments? And for the council members, if there's anything else that you'd like to have a subcommittee for, as we grow and progress supporting the town, we can continue to look at those things. Okay. Lastly, I think it's the last thing. No, the second thing. Next on the agenda was just information. Jeff, you can help me on this. So I talked about this in the working group as well, but there have been people that have asked about our electoral election dates, and I had asked about the position for mayor. So what I found out, and Jeff had told me, is that I reached out to Stacy Godfrey, who's the Pickens County Board of Elections and Registration Supervisor. She had stated to me that the position for mayor will not be opened up till November of 2023. So I would be covering down as mayor pro tem for the next 2 years. I had some personal concerns about that myself, but Jeff explained to me, and Jeff, if you could just explain to everybody what you had found out.
Yeah, so the charter was changed a few years ago to avoid special elections. That was before my time. My presumption was a special election costs money. A small town, you generally have a higher level of turnover, especially if your positions are unpaid or not well paid. And so those towns often face, the state law says if you lose a member, if your charter doesn't say otherwise, you gotta have a special election at specified times. That starts to cost a lot.
Yes, sir.
And I don't, you can get the price quotes from Stacy at the Board of Elections. So that's my presumption why the charter was changed. So that's why you have the ability to appoint a council member if one resigns. But as to the mayor, what your charter says currently is that if the mayor's seat becomes vacated, it stays empty until the completion of that next term, and the mayor pro tem fills the position for the duration of that, what was a 4-year term.
Yes, sir. One of the things we talked about in the working group is how do we identify someone replacing myself if I'm not able, if I quit or I'm not able to attend? How do we identify someone else volunteering behind myself?
Well, I mean, there's nothing that I guess that prohibits you from appointing a second mayor pro tem to,
Is that
on a permanent, otherwise it would happen on a case-by-case basis. I mean, if you weren't here for a meeting, council would have to decide who's gonna lead the meeting.
What would be, I hate to be so critical about this, but what would we call them? We would just call them,
I don't know, junior mayor pro tem?
yeah, we all. Yeah, I don't think,
There's not,
I don't think that's.
maybe there's a name for that out there. I'd have to look it up and see if there is such a thing.
Yeah. I have to
Substitute mayor pro tem, something like that.
Pro tem.
Alternate
What
mayor pro
about
tem.
alternate, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Sounds better than junior.
I was kidding about junior.
Okay, I cannot believe that. I think that'd be very awesome. Anything else, Jeff?
No.
So really, that's what we're going to look at. So for now, I will continue doing my duties as mayor pro tem and council member as well. But I just wanted to let the town know that that's what we're looking at. And then Stacy's going to identify each one of the next electoral votes for the next 4 years. We're locked in with myself, Stephen, and Tony for council members. And then we'll get the correct for the remainder seat for Mary and Melissa as well. Get that identified. So I would like to put to a vote choosing an alternative mayor pro tem. Any questions or comments about that? Anybody like to be nominated for that responsibility? Tony, you'd like to have that responsibility? Any questions or comments about Tony and recommending himself?
Just call him junior.
All right, awesome. So do I have a motion to allow or accept Tony Hoff as our alternate mayor pro tem?
A motion that we accept Tony Hoff as our alternate mayor pro tem.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All in favor? That's unanimous. All right, awesome. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Okay, lastly, I was going to put this to the vote, and once again, there were so many things. I was a little nervous, and I wanted to cover everything in our working session. But one of the things that Jerry and I talked about was some of the things that needed to be repaired. And we talked about some of those things. There's some issues in the park with the restrooms, some issues that need to be replaced, toilets, ring sills. We also identified the truck that we have here. It's right out by the garbage, trash thing. It's a white truck, and we use that for services. It does, Jerry had mentioned that it needs to have tire replacement. Jerry reached out to Jasper Tire and got a quote of a little over $1,000.
It was, yes, and they got them installed.
We do believe that there are other issues with that truck, more than just tires, okay? So,
I've driven it, it's in bad,
Oh,
it needs a.
well, you and I barely made it to the dump in it.
Yes.
yeah, so we're not gonna put that to a vote right now. We're gonna take this next month and talk about our next working session, but we've gotta look to see what it would take to improve that truck overall, because it's for the town. And if we have to remove anything, things like that, that's our only source at this time. So I wanna talk with Jerry and some other folks to see what it realistically, if there's any mechanical issues with it. Is it worth investing $1,000 for tires and the next thing the engine blows? You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little skittish to do that just yet. We are not in a situation to use it right this minute. We do have some cement blocks in the back of it that we need to find a place for it. But just some things that I'm thinking about, because we have limited infrastructure here in the town. And, you know, we have a John Deere right now in the fire station in the garage that is our only source of getting around And we've used that truck for so many years in the past, several years ago, that Randy Banks was getting the trash for it and stuff. So I think it's a vital truck. I think if it's worth the effort of getting it fixed, I think it benefits the town itself. But I just don't want to jump right into it right now after I'm hearing some other mechanical issues that it has. So we'll table that right now for a vote and see what else it will take, and then bring that up for the next working session. Okay? All right, that's all I have. I appreciate all the participation for the town, and Mary, I see you. I appreciate all the efforts for our working session as well, and I think we're moving forward on that. So, any questions from the town, the citizens? Mary?
Well, I just wanted to say that Mary is a board member for the chamber, and I'm an ambassador for the chamber in Pickens County. And they have approached us and said they want to start helping Talking Rock. And one thing they're going to do is make Heritage Day like flags and stuff for us, and also town flags, and support us. So if anybody has any questions about that or anything, let us know.
Yeah, the ladies that explained that to me, and it's really exciting because we're really starting to open up, and I've had some great dialogue, and I'd like to publicly acknowledge that from Mayor Sylvia Green from Nelson, Mayor Stephen Lawrence from Jasper, and then Chris Stansel, our county commissioner. Yeah, they've been really helpful for myself in my transition here, and I've learned so much from them. Great mentorship from them, and I do want to open up the dialogue for that. I've learned so much about, we've talked about in the past about the opportunities we have for a dedicated fire department. So we want to re-engage that, and some other initiatives that have been brought to my attention. So I really appreciate that, and look forward to working with anybody, especially with the citizens, for how we can improve and stuff. Because that's the bottom line, is that everybody that's in this room right now, they only care about the town of Talking Rock and what we can do to improve it. That's really fundamentally what we're all here for, right? It's not for our individual agendas. We're all doing this from a volunteer perspective, and I'm super stoked about the future of what we're doing here for the town, and our public events, and just what we can do to help the community. And I'm excited about learning and growing in this role, and learning and improve as a council member and working with you guys. So I'm really excited about that. Anything else? Okay. Our next meeting is, and I forgot to write that down, is
March the 3rd.
yeah, see Buffy squared me away. March 3rd. Our working session will be at 5:30 in this room. Please, it is open to the public. We do not vote, but we encourage the citizens of the town to come and share anything they'd like, help us work through it, because the working sessions, again, and I've said it a lot tonight, is to help us improve the future, how we're moving forward, the way ahead. And I am excited about Heritage Days. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of people in it. I want to jump on it yesterday, so we want to keep on doing that. So please, again, the council, please let me know. Give me some feedback on our working sessions, what I can do to improve, and what we can improve here in the town hall and our facilities as well. The park itself, just please let me know, because that's what we want to do. We just want to do what's best for the town. Any other questions? Again, council meeting 7 p.m. on the 3rd of March. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All right, all in favor? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.